Scene. No, you did that at the end, right? It's an end thing. Brick, wall, water, fall. Julia thinks she got it all, but she don't, and I do. So boom with the attitude. Reese's Pieces 7 up. Mess with me, I'll mess you up.
Boom with the attitude. Boom with the attitude.
Hello.
Hello.
Today we are going over the toxicity of emotional suppression.
Yes.
It's not as complicated as it sounds. This is my favorite new whip. My panda did. It really suits the weather because every day I get up, I'm like, maybe today we'll have penguins. You know, so they're not there.
It's a panda.
Oh, this is a panda. Yeah, that which makes me feel better about there not being penguins.
Oh, okay.
We deserve penguins. If it's gonna be, if it's gonna be 9, can we have some penguins?
Wouldn't it be cool if like the weather changed with the animals?
Oh
like,
yeah.
I know that's like the Earth,
like
and
the whole
atmospheres,
migrational
and,
pattern.
like all the biomes, but like
birds are flying off. Like, oh well, we're gonna have penguins soon.
we're gonna have some penguins here today. Like if that would be so cool.
I dig it.
It's like Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
Disclaimer.
Oh.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize you were getting onto another thing.
No, it's okay.
Didn't they have like everything rain from the sky in that movie? Wasn't just meatballs and like other foods?
All of it.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Cheeseburgers.
Yeah. With a side of ketchup and mustard.
I'd be so happy about that. I walk outside and cheeseburgers falling from the sky. Like, I don't think I can go to work today, guys.
That would solve world hunger.
It would.
I think we need a billionaire to invent that.
Elon.
What is it called?
Elon.
What is it called? The Flintstones. I've really watched that movie.
All right, I can dig it.
Yeah, it's called the Flintstones.
Is this our video or is this going on bloopers? I don't even know which track to send that to.
Sorry.
I love it. I'm about it. Disclaimer.
Okay, these are the inner workings of our minds. We are not professionals. We are just sharing our journeys. And our journey today was talking about Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs and how cool that would be.
We like to do cool stuff.
Yes.
That's not my catchphrase, but you get it.
We like to do cool stuff.
We like to do cool stuff.
Hashtag Chris.
There's cool things. We like to do cool things. No, don't hashtag Chris. Oh, man. It's a whole category.
Yeah. Anyways, so yes, the toxicity of emotional suppression is what we will be reffing on. What's the word? Riffing on.
Riff. So one of the beautiful things about our relationship is we've always been very open with one another about what's going on with us, how we feel about things. You know, we've been able to share mostly everything pretty much our entire lives. You know, like the difficult conversations that you can't have with your parents. You know, like anything and everything. And that's been really good. And it's given both of us an openness that, you know, that's what we try to share with the world. And in our other relationships, just being very communicative and never leaving the other person in the dark, you know. It's just, there's nothing that compares to that when the people that you're close to, you can be open with and literally, you know, have those conversations and talk about absolutely anything. And suppressing those emotions can be very difficult on you and the ones around you. So that's kind of where we're leading with this. Yeah.
I really feel like it shows like real true love is being able to be your authentic self with somebody.
Open and genuine.
That's another, like, going back to codependency a little bit too. Codependency is usually taking on like the emotions of others and like kind of putting yours aside. And so whenever we do that, we're not being authentic.
Word.
And I feel like that really ties into with like the emotional toxicity too. Like it's just not healthy all around. And it doesn't feel good. Like, do you guys ever get those feelings where like you did not say what you actually wanted to say to somebody about how you felt about a situation, or maybe you didn't even fully know and you just, you know, reacted or said whatever you said in the moment, but then later on you're thinking about it and you're like, I really don't feel that way. Like, this is how I actually feel about it. Once we start, you know, coming into ourselves and accepting that and like putting your words out there and how you actually feel to your loved ones, you're going to see which ones really care about you. Because they're going to stay. They're going to keep loving you even if you're putting words out there that may hurt them in some way. It's not like maybe you don't mean to hurt them. Sometimes it's hard not to
That's part of any form of any relationship. Though.
Yeah.
You're going to have days where you're not necessarily happy with each other. But as long as you talk about those things, that's what builds the foundation of trust.
Mm-hmm.
It's when you're hiding things from one another, and even if you think you're doing it for the right reasons, that's what rocks the boat and, kind of shatters what may be more of a strong foundation.
Yes.
Like, it's important to not just be honest about things like, "Ooh, I messed up," but like, "Hey, I'm feeling this way right now, and I really don't know how to feel about it." Like, if you lock those things away and you never allow them to blossom into, what they can become, because plenty of positive things start out as negative things or things that we don't understand. That's where you grow as a person and a human being, and in your relationships is by sharing anything that you don't understand or things that make you uncomfortable, and allowing yourself to be moderately emotionally vulnerable with the people that you care about.
And being able to, like, something I use in my massage practice, whenever somebody comes to me with a problem and maybe I'm working on them and they're telling me how they're feeling while I'm working on them, if I don't understand it, I will tell them, I don't know. So that gives me the chance, to go out there and figure out how I feel about it. Does that work?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. It just speaks for, that's a form of emotional intelligence, and that you're self-assured enough that you can admit, I'm wrong sometimes, I don't know everything,
like, I
have things to learn.
It's letting go of ego in that moment.
Yes.
I don't know. That's like totally fine if I don't know. Totally, but the cool thing is, I can figure it out.
Yeah. I don't know, but I would like to learn.
But like,
learn all the time. I love
like,
it.
And that's going to make my entire, like, the session with the rest, that's going to make the rest of the session with that person that much more meaningful, because they also know that person's like, I don't know, but I can figure it out.
I care. I'm here for you. Let me help you in the way that you need to be helped.
In the way that I know how to help you.
And that's with a complete stranger.
Yes. I have to be very intuitive with my job. Absolutely. All senses, really. But I really, really love the art of vulnerability. Since we had that video with Miranda. I'm so sorry. My brain has been whoop lately, but it's fine.
These are the inner workings of our minds. Sometimes they are not inner worked the way that we would like for them to be.
Yep.
But that is part of self-work.
Absolutely.
That is our journey.
And it makes funny things happen. Like, we have sounds. And like, we're whining whenever, like, things don't work. But yes, that video with Miranda, like, really, really opened up a new category, I think, for the both of us. Vulnerability and talking about it. Vulnerability is the key. A lot of us were raised, let's be honest, probably a lot of us were raised by narcissistic people in some way, or people that had narcissistic qualities. And, like, I'm starting to learn more about that. Our little sister is actually, like, on the path to, like, researching that, and she shared some really incredible things with me. And with that, when you're raised by people who are narcissistic, they really are just more like themselves, and what you can do to, like, enhance their life.
Yep.
Like, your life and you being a solo being is not as much in their mind. Like, they don't really care about that. So in turn, a lot of us learn how to be codependent with that too, because we were always told what to do, who to be, and all these kind of things. So we really couldn't be authentic and put our emotions out there.
It can be difficult to do, especially, and you hit on this a little bit earlier, but satisfying the emotions of others, was that maybe the topic?
Yeah.
Regardless, where I'm going with it is, I still have not completely mastered how to separate my emotions from the emotions of other people. We haven't really delved too deep into the term empath or anything as such, but I am the type that feels the emotions of other people as if they were my own. If I'm in a room with somebody that's really, really sad, sometimes I'll just get really, really sad, and I have no idea why. Mm-hmm. So I'm also a highly anxious person. This is part of the reason, because it can be very stressful, not understanding what I perceive to be my emotions, and sometimes not being able to realize that they don't belong to me.
Yeah.
Oh man, I was going to a specific place with that. But that's a learning process in itself, which is why I allow myself emotional vulnerability with people that I'm close with. Mm-hmm. Because, when you're having those deeper conversations, then you begin sometimes to understand, maybe that's not mine. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. And it helps you learn yourself
Yeah.
at the same time as you're learning others?
It's like a while back. I remember you and I weren't vibing real good. I think I had gotten into a relationship and you were not at the time. And like, I had felt like our vibe was off. And so I went over to your house and I just put a lot of things out there. And then you like gave me space and you gave me time to listen. Or like you listened to me.
Thanks.
And then like, we back and forth allowed each other without interrupting each other and just allowed us to say what we felt.
Respect.
And that was like a big deal. And it's like that built a lot of trust with me and you again, which, yeah, Chris and I have always been really close, but there have been times where like we didn't talk for a while and it was not fun.
It's happened twice.
Yeah. And like it lasted like a month or two each.
A month or two each time.
And so like
gave her a space. Both times she was mad at me. I gave her a space.
it takes me time to process,
And
especially like whenever people have not been so nice to me or
Heard.
you.
Heard.
So like I have to, that's the part of also trying to figure out who I am, being a codependent person most of my life. I have to literally take myself away from everybody else during times of high emotional like disturbance within myself, because I have to figure out how I actually feel without somebody else telling me how I feel. Like, no thank you.
That's the defeat
like,
of codependency. Honestly.
Yeah. And like it's really worked well for me to get to this point. But yeah, like being vulnerable has helped with that as well. Like, yeah, pinkies out because we're fancy.
Stay fancy, my friends.
But yes, emotional toxicity. It can get I can actually feel when people aren't being authentic too.
Yes.
It's a
you
risk.
can't lie to readers.
No.
We are a real thing, and it's important. That's why it's good to know the people that you're close with too. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're I have always just been an authentic and genuine person. If I lie, I feel terrible about it. So I don't. You know, I might be afraid to speak up sometimes, but
yeah, I get that.
You know, it just takes me a minute. I have to do it at my own pace because I get all jumbly and I'm a self-blamer. I'll be like, why did I, you know.
You should read the book Daring Greatly. How many times have you guys heard me say that?
I feel like that's come up before. That was not new.
It talks all about shame and blame and how we treat ourselves.
Well, I tend to overcome.
It even has a specific chapter on like the cis men and like what they go through. So like I recommend that if you're struggling with the way you talk to yourself.
At times.
But yeah,
that would be
like,
good for me to read.
The shame or like the blaming yourself and taking that upon yourself, I totally understand that.
Well, in a way, it's also accountability. So getting back to that, you know, I accept my own accountability, and you know, sometimes that sucks. You know, but that's part of learning and growing too.
Yeah.
But I never would feel a certain way and make somebody else feel negative because my emotions are affecting me in a negative way, which is where we get emotional toxicity.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why it's important for the people around you that if you're experiencing an emotion that's uncomfortable, to be more vulnerable, which was the point of topic more than anything.
And especially, absolutely, like the relationships around me, I don't do well if I feel like there's a rift. I'm usually one of the first people to speak up about it.
Yep.
Because I feel it, and if they're afraid to speak about it, or if I don't know if it's just me though too, so I'll put it out there. I'm like, hey, feeling this kind of way, like how are you feeling? Like, do you see this too? Do you feel this too?
And we already know that you do before we ask. That's why we're asking.
Because we
it's
can
not really
also,
a question.
I am very, very good at reading tone of voice. I am very good at reading the way somebody holds their body differently.
Yes.
Really, the tone of voice is really it. I can pick it out. Slight changes.
It was a
and
big one.
In my solo video, again, the book Blink really like helped. What is the word when somebody confirms something? I think it's confirm. Anyways, it really confirmed my feelings about that.
Validated?
Yeah, validated.
Yeah.
So the book Blink is all about being able to pick up on the little signals like that. And I bought a book on decision making because I'm bad at making decisions. So that's what I bought the book anyways.
We're
It's all
just
about
sharing our journey.
This is all over the place, but like it's fine. Anyways, so what's cool about the book is it talks about your unconscious mind knowing before your conscious mind knows. And that's really it. Our unconscious minds, subconscious minds. Thank you.
Gotcha.
Anyways, our subconscious minds are like reading and picking up on these things. So, yes, we notice these things. And even if you tell us no, we know that there's something there.
And
we
then
can't
we know
say,
that you're lying.
Possibly. They could be.
Or they haven't discovered it within themselves.
Yes. So it may just like be pointing something out, and like maybe they'll be like, maybe I should think about this. Or maybe they'll just be like, no, it's all fine, and just not want to talk about it,
Which circles back around to why a foundation of trust is important for emotional vulnerability.
Absolutely.
At the same time.
And I think it's also good to accept that maybe that person is not ready at that time.
And that happens too, because everybody grows and heals in their own ways.
Yes. But it's also good to realize if somebody is at that point where like they're not wanting to learn and grow with you, or they're not quite there with you, you get to make the decision on how you want to move along with that relationship.
And how you allow it to affect you.
Yes. So like we love people. A lot of us probably don't want to lose people that we love, but we also have to quite literally be true to ourselves to live a healthy life, especially a healthy emotional life. And really, that's how I live my life now, and I can honestly say it's incredible.
I watch the way that you flow. Your shoulders are calm. You know, you're not tense.
Yeah.
And I'm still working a lot of those things out for myself because I have a lot of stress in my life.
You will get that.
Yeah, it says in the book.
Says in the book. I had some moments as a child where like there's this one memory. There's Chris and this neighborhood kid, Cody, and they were talking about Pokemon cards. And I had the Pokemon book. I didn't understand any of it at the time because, I'm the annoying little sister. So, like, they kept saying whatever, and I'd be like, yep, says in the book. And I just said that constantly.
It was funny.
And then what was the other one you just said?
You said, you will get that.
Yeah, I just had, like, that was my phrase for a while. So
That's
every time...
Rebel Wilson from Pitch Perfect.
What? Really?
Yeah. You will get that. That's what you stole that from Pitch Perfect. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Totally.
You will
It's not a
get
bad thing.
that.
I make movie references all day, every day.
Yeah. I did that.
Cool.
Yeah.
I feel like this was a good one. So,
Yeah.
any questions, comments, or concerns, as always, please leave us a like. Super duper helpful. Were you going for the pound there? I feel like I missed it.
I think I was like fidgeting because this was over here and it bothered me, so I brought it back here. Anyways. Alright. Alright, we're gonna let you guys go. We've been
Appreciate
weird
you guys.
today.
It's
Hopefully
good.
you're
It's good
into that.
Get weird.
Being weird is fun.
It is fun. Let
It's
yourself
unique,
be you.
and it's authentic, and it's just
Yes.
Yeah.
Authenticism.
Authenticism.
Authenticism. Okay. Much love. Until next time.
Peace.
Oh, I'm the one with the...
Beep beep boop bop. Pip hop anonymous.
Why is he gonna be anonymous? I don't get